Okay, hello everyone. I hope you are having a great day. Today I have here a special guest, Christina. Hello, do you want to
Oh,
introduce yourself and tell a little bit about what you do in life?
yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I could talk about energy and healing all day long. So this is amazing. Thank you. My name is Christina Cicci, and I am a tantric energy and mindset coach. And essentially, I've kind of been in this energy esoteric world for a long, long time, but mostly as a hobby over the years. I've just always been interested in the outer worldly. I knew there was always something bigger and just had this curiosity. So even at a young age, I was looking at encyclopedias, at the pyramids and ancient Egyptians, and was just fascinated by all this. And then got into near-death experience stories, when I was like 12, when they first started coming out, and reading those books and going, wow, I know there's something more. And then I was a dancer. So really, when you're in that space of knowing your body that well,
Hmm.
you feel like you are just a superpower, that you're just floating through space. Like you're just in another realm, and maybe other dancers out there can attest to that. But you have a different feeling in this 3D reality.
Yeah.
So I took that after I retired from dancing, and went into yoga, became a
Hmm.
certified yoga instructor, and then just dabbled in all kinds of different modalities because I was so interested in all this Reiki. And I think it was several years ago, I read the book Conversations with God by
Hmm.
Neil Donald Walsh. Excuse me. And that changed my whole perspective on what God is and source, and kind of got me into law of attraction. Um,
Hmm.
as I evolved further and further, got into Wayne Dyer, all of these, popular new age people, The Secret, all of that. And as I
Yeah.
evolved further and further and further, Abraham Hicks, and further, and now into more of this going back to the roots of ancient practices in Tantra.
Hmm.
So, and it all comes full circle, because Tantra really um, is the way that people did yoga. It was yoga for the people,
Hmm.
right? Yoga in the ancient times was for the hierarchy, in the caste system.
Ah,
Only
interesting.
the educated, only the leaders
Hmm.
were had access to this, and to the monk, the people who kind of lived in caves and went that way, the ascetics.
Yeah.
Uh, so Tantra came to the people. It was thousands of years ago,
Hmm.
and it was practical. So you didn't have to live in a cave, and you didn't have to be this, God-like figure, this
Hmm.
god or goddess. You could actually be an everyday person in practice.
Hmm.
So what they did was they discovered energy and how energy worked, and they studied this.
Hmm.
And that's where a lot of these practices came to be. And they discovered these universal laws, and these spiritual laws, laws of resonance,
Hmm.
laws of belief, laws of cause and effect. And
Right.
they lived by those. So kind of bringing my practices back to that, and getting to the roots of everything, and bringing that forth is really where I am now. So
Yeah. That's fascinating. And I have to say that you have very similar story than me. I used to be a dancer too. I
yeah,
actually musical theater, so I was a singer and dancer. But yeah, and I definitely can relate your your feeling about very much knowing your body in this 3D realm. It's a very, very fascinating feeling once you get in there. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
cool. So you have done like a route from the ancient to the new age and now kind of back. So
Yes, because actually science, so I bring in a lot of quantum physics into my work as
yeah,
well, because it aligns with all of this stuff that the ancients were teaching thousands of years ago.
yeah, yeah,
So
they
a
already
way
knew
to,
it. Yeah,
yeah, a way to kind of bring that to people so that they can understand it. So it's not so far out there. And
yeah,
science has proven a lot
yeah,
of this stuff.
yes,
So it really is tangible.
yeah. It is. It is. So tell me, what do you do? Like, if I would come to you as your client, like, what kind of experience would it be to work with you?
Yeah, so as far as the energy work goes, I've combined the energy work with the mindset work. So mindset being, working past limiting beliefs. Our thoughts really do create. That's the energy part of our physical existence, right? It's outside of the body, it's in the mind.
Yes.
So it's really the root of creation into this 3D realm. And when I say 3D realm, everything that you can taste, smell, touch, feel
Mm.
in this current reality that's seen your everyday life.
Yes.
So thoughts on the higher mind and in the dream state is the 4D, the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
So this is the place where we create, is if you think about it, right? Every single thing that exists in this 3D reality um, came from a thought,
Yeah.
came from an idea.
Yes. Even this cup here,
So,
someone had a feeling about creating a green cup, and here it exists. And
nice, yes,
started with a thought. Yeah.
yes. So it's the energy piece that is the beginning of creation. Everything starts with an idea
Yeah.
or in the imagination.
Yes.
So this imagination is in the higher mind. We can access this at any time during our day.
Hmm.
Just getting into that, hypnagogic state and really setting your intentions, what you really, really want. So this is what I teach people. Um, and using the energy work to work through any emotional blocks that we may have. So emotions are the physical manifestation of a thought, essentially. So
Yes.
the thoughts create a feeling, an emotion,
Hmm.
and then your body starts to remember that as far as, that brain body connection.
Yes.
And it sometimes starts to take over, even though you've cleared your mind, maybe you've cleared a block, a limiting belief,
Hmm.
uh, the body still remembers. And
Yeah.
it takes, because it's on that physical level, you're dealing with matter,
Yeah.
right? It's slower. So it takes a little more time for the body to recover from the clearing. So we try to help that along with the energy work
Yeah.
and moving the energy through the body to help it. But
Yeah.
yes, so and getting into that, um, we're not really healing anything, right? We are facilitators. I'm a facilitator, just helping the energy move through. But there's really nothing broken, there's nothing to fix. It's just a matter of shifting to the right direction
Yeah.
and
Very
to a
often.
more
Yeah. Please, you can continue.
to
Yes.
more balanced place. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because very often, like how I see it is that because we do very similar work. So the customers I have, they have a certain habit. They have been doing the same way, thinking the same thoughts, doing the same actions, having the same patterns and like habits. And then when they start to change it, I always talk with them that they have been like using a road very long time, the same road. So it's a familiar automated road. It's like the highway. It's the quickest way in your brain to achieve stuff. And when you start changing your thoughts and you want to have different results, you have to actually physically create new neural pathways. So you will take like a smaller route that is a little bit more difficult to do in the beginning, but once you start going it all and over again, it will end up being the highway. It will become the new highway. But that process doesn't happen just like magically.
That's
You
right.
have to practice it every day. And where the healing part kind of kicks in is that for helping you to release the old stuff that is not anymore serving you, which is preventing you from going where you want to go, that's one we can help as facilitators. But there is really nothing broken. It's just like cleaning your house. It's like
Yes.
cleaning you energetically so that you can create the kind of life that you really want to create. And that's,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's how I see why it's very, very interesting to combine the kind of the mindset work with the energy work, because it's more effective. You get quicker results, and the process is easier. You have less resistance when you.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And I definitely feel it's a holistic approach
yeah,
rather than treating just the physical and the energetic level. You're also getting to the mind because I've done it all. I my experiences, I've done plant medicine, ayahuasca, psilocybin, I've gone to healers, I'm a Reiki, I was a Reiki healer. I was doing all of these things. But
yeah,
it wasn't until I really changed these beliefs that I
yeah,
had.
yeah,
And these beliefs are set in your subconscious mind. They're not conscious most of the time. The subconscious is really driving the show,
yeah.
right?
It
So to
is. It is.
speak.
Yeah,
And it will find whatever you're believing,
yeah,
your subconscious brain will seek out evidence
yes,
to prove to you that belief is true.
yes,
And it
exactly.
will go to great lengths to do that.
Yeah. And it
So,
will attack you from every corner. Like it will always find your weakest spot where you are not aware about it. And then it will tell you again, like, oh, but you cannot really create this new life because you are like this, or you are like that, or because you don't have money, or they are just all the
yes,
same stuff. But it will like try to survive your paradigm. Like Bob Proctor talks about paradigms, and I really like that word. It
yes,
really wants to survive, and it will do anything to survive,
that's
but
right.
you have to command it out of your head and
That's
create
right. So,
life.
yes. So,
Yeah,
reprogramming, right, that subconscious mind
yeah,
um, is really the key.
yeah,
And it is persisting in doing that, even when, because your body is going to fight you on it, because that goes into survival, because
yeah,
that's that neural pathway. So you start to feel, maybe you feel anxiety, maybe you feel sadness over something. Or you're fearing that you're going to lose a relationship when you see something that's not quite what you want.
yeah,
Your boyfriend didn't text you that day or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
You start to make stories based on this belief that maybe you're not good enough or you're
Yeah,
not a priority.
yes,
So then the brain, the subconscious says, see, here's your text. He didn't text you today. He doesn't like you anymore.
yeah,
And it will, instead of focusing on the what is probably happening is he got busy. He's,
Yeah,
it's not something
exactly.
personal to you.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's changing that so you see things differently.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
anyway, we are like computers. We have many programs inside of us. So now it's
yes,
just like finally we get to choose what programs we put inside of us, because many of the stuff that we are running in this computer are automated, and they are from our childhood and based on like interpretations that are not true, and they are like false,
that's right.
like perception and everything. But when you start finally like taking the responsibility about your own life, and you understand that you are the creator of your life and you can create whatever you want, then you can start implementing like new software that will actually help you to get what you want, instead of like giving you what you don't want, because
Yeah,
what you think most of the time is what you
that's
are
right.
gonna get, right?
Yes, and we're creating every day. We always have been.
Yes.
So the proof is what you're seeing in your life. So
Yes.
if you're seeing something that you don't like, you created that, right? And that's just what you were saying, is that it's taking that responsibility, because once you know that you've had the power, you had the power, or you have the power to create the stuff you don't want. You
Yes.
have the power to create what you do want. So
Ex-
it's taking the focus off of what you don't want and moving the focus to what you do want. And you can do that with several different techniques. And I don't know what you use, but I like to use, so affirmations are
yes.
really, really powerful. And I know over the years, they've kind of been watered down and people say they don't work. Well, it takes practice, because your subconscious brain is going to fight you tooth and again, your body is going to fight you to survive in that old way that it knows it's safe.
Yes.
So people give up
Yeah,
before they actually start to see results.
exactly. I
And
think that's the biggest problem, is that people think that everything should happen in a week, and then they give up and they are not consistent, and they don't make a committed decision to go towards their vision. Like first you have to have a really clear vision where you want to be, and you
that's
really
right.
have to like smell, taste and see it in your mind, and then once you have that, then you have to make a committed decision to go there, and then you can use any tools you want for helping you to get there. But the basic idea is
Right.
that if you want to have something that you don't have yet, you have to grow inside. You have to become that person who lives
That's
the
right.
same resonance with that goal that you have. So you cannot create anything from anything different if you don't change yourself. And that's where the responsibility kicks in, because then you
Yes,
realize that actually everything happens inside me and I have to,
that's right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a program called Activate Your Inner Goddess,
Mm,
for women, because this inner goddess is a version of you at your most authentic and your highest state.
yes.
So from this state, you can create anything in your reality that you desire.
Yes.
Because from this state, you know your true power.
Yes.
And so I help women to get into that state
Yeah.
um, through several different techniques. And first and foremost, it's about, bringing awareness to the stories and the narratives that you are telling yourself. Because
Yeah.
most of the time, we're always having conversations with ourselves, right? And inner conversations is something that I love to practice, because we do it anyway. They're so easy,
Yeah.
because we do it all day long.
Yes.
Maybe you're in a job that you're not happy with, and you're having this inner conversation with your boss all day long, saying how you hate this job and how he's a jerk and how.
Yeah.
So that's what you're creating.
Exactly. all the
S-
time. Yeah,
So, because you have the feeling going, you're like really mad at him and you're telling him how you think, and
yeah,
so, and with affirmations, it's the same way. So it's about adding the emotion, the feeling in with the statement that you want.
yeah,
So it's making it natural to you. It's not just saying a blank, I am beautiful. I am a priority. It's not just saying that. It's actually, I mean, that'll work over time for sure. Just keep saying that repeatedly. But to kind of really get to it and to kind of get quicker results, you want to, add that emotion into it. Like you're
yeah,
talking to your best friend,
yeah,
having that inner conversation with yourself. It's like, I know I'm a goddess. I always am a goddess.
yeah,
I am magnetic, I am irresistible, and I am irreplaceable. It's
exactly.
bringing that emotion into it. And you
Yeah.
don't have to believe it at first.
Yeah,
You
because
just have
over
to,
time it will come to your reality, and you will create those new neural pathways for it to work.
right,
Yeah. And actually I think when you add the emotion, it kind of like increases the magnetism inside you. So you actually attract the stuff towards you a lot quicker. So I think like it's good to play with the emotions, the positive ones, and
right.
good to kind of trick yourself in thinking positive thoughts. Like for example, I have always on my mirror, I write with a pen that I can wipe off, like what amazing can happen today, or like you
Yes,
are the best, or whatever. Because when you see it, even though you don't even read it, it goes in your subconscious mind,
that's
and you
right.
start creating that kind of reality. and
That's right.
and I have a good friend who asks always, he talks a lot with people, like strangers that he doesn't know. He's this kind of people magnet, and he always asks like, what good has happened to you today? Because when you ask what good has happened, it already like tricks the mind of the other person to start thinking the good stuff, and not to start complaining about the stuff that we always complain about. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. That's so true. And another really interesting thing is, when we first wake up in the morning, your brain is in this hypnagogic state.
yeah,
So your thoughts that you start thinking first thing in the morning is really how you're setting your day.
yes, exactly.
Same with at night,
Mm,
before you go to bed,
yes.
as you're falling asleep, your mindset during that time is going to actually set you up
Yeah, it is.
as you're going into this 4D state in your sleep state. You're
Mm,
actually creating from that space when
yes.
you went to bed. That old, what do they say? They used to say, never go to bed, angry
Yeah.
at your spouse.
Yeah.
Well, there's a really good reason for that,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's been even studied that the most successful people in the world, all of them have a very strong morning routine. That they already usually in the evening before they go to bed, they are clear on what's going to happen the next morning, and they have a certain time that they wake up, and then they do the stuff that they want to do, and it kind of sets your focus for the right mode for the rest of the day, and you are more
Yes.
effective, and you have more of the qualities that you want yourself to have, let's say, whatever they are, like, because we are all or individual, and we all need different qualities. But yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
So what are your morning routines, Christina?
Yeah, so my morning routine is 99% non-negotiable. I make time for it no matter what.
Perfect.
And for me, I set this intention several years ago, when I was in my corporate job and going to work, had to be there at 8. I had an hour drive to get there. So I was up at 6:30 in the morning, and I set this intention saying, you know what I really want is to be able to get up every day when I want without an alarm. And I want to be able to have my morning coffee outside and center myself.
Mm,
And I usually do this to, some sort of subliminal music, some sort of, sound therapy music,
yeah,
just to center myself. And then I meditate and I go for my walk. That's every single day.
that sounds
And
wonderful.
if I don't do it, I feel it because my body has remembered that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I have the same. I have a very strong morning routine, and that's like usually I meditate, and after and during the meditation, I'm actually always the first 3.5 minutes I'm listening my recorded vision. Like I'm listening it what I'm creating in my life, so I know from the morning what I'm gonna go for always.
yes,
And then I after the meditation I have like a quite quick like a sun salutation routine that I like to do, and then I usually send love. And sending love is a great exercise because
yes,
it will like increase your vibration like 100%, and it will also clear your channel as an energy healer. It will clear you every time you do it. So that's like
yes.
my trinity. But yeah, walks would be wonderful. I would love that, but because I live in Finland and there half of the year the weather is quite nasty,
Yeah,
it's not happening every day. But I
yeah.
really like it, and I live near the forest, so every time the weather is okay, I go there. But yeah,
Yep, I've even committed to that. So I'm in New York right now, and so in the winter when the weather is bad, I still do it. I
yeah,
have like 5 layers on and my boots, and
yeah,
I'm out there, and I'm even still sitting outside with my warm robe, my blanket, my
yeah,
hat on.
yeah. Wow, you are really committed. Yes,
Yeah, and that's that it's that connection to nature that is so important to me,
yeah,
that really grounds me.
yeah,
But I agree with you. That is also something that I do as part of my meditation. Um, After my meditation, I usually do the visualization.
yeah,
And I don't always do the heart centered. I kind of figure out what I need for that
yeah,
day and we'll focus on that.
yeah,
So, yeah, but you're exactly right. When you focus on your heart and you open your heart space and send love, you're
yeah,
actually what's called the morphic field,
yeah,
um, which has been discovered through animals and birds. So birds fly in what's called a morphic field. There isn't like a leader as we
mm,
once thought, that the
yeah,
leader, the alpha, duck or whatever.
yeah,
um, it's actually this field where everyone is equal and everyone knows where their place is.
yeah,
And so we have this field as well, and
mm,
we can influence this field by
yeah,
our thoughts.
yeah.
And when we send love to someone, we're actually affecting their field.
Yes, we are, and
And,
we are
and our
like.
and our morphic field as a whole, as a collective.
Yes, yes, and even like with people, if you have any people in your life that you are not in the best terms with,
That's
let's say
right.
in that way, only by sending love to them, even though they are dead or alive or I don't care, but you still affect the bond between you, and you can actually like neutralize a lot of nasty
Yes.
karma from from you. So that's actually also a very very good exercise for forgiveness and for clearing the bonds. between people. So
Yes,
and I do it,
absolutely.
yeah, and I do it mainly because I want to be a very pure channel. So I think it's helping me to clear myself every day so I can be there
Hmm.
for other people. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but anyway,
Absolutely.
really fascinating stuff. I have
Yes.
some questions here, but I haven't even really read them, and we have already talked about many stuff. Um,
Like I said, I could do this all day.
yeah, yeah, it's like the best thing because like I don't really count this as working time because it's just pure pleasure for me too.
Mhm.
So I would like to ask, how do you see physical pain? What is
Mm.
physical pain?
Yeah, so in what everything that I've learned, I learned that physical pain is a manifestation um, from an emotional root, something that has been emotionally started. And when I get further into emotions, so emotions carry energy, right? So when that energy gets stuck in a particular area of the body and it stays there, it actually affects the cells and the DNA of the cells.
Yes,
So that's where these physical manifestations come into play.
yes,
Um, and I feel when you, and I believe this, not just feel, I've seen this, when you release this emotional block over time, that will heal itself. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take physical, measures as far as a doctor or doing, because your beliefs also come into play. So
yeah.
if you believe that going to a doctor is the way to go, then by all means you should do that because that's what you believe.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
it's not going to hurt to add in these removing the emotional piece of it, because a doctor typically doesn't do that. They'll
yeah,
only treat the physical side of it.
yeah.
So when you actually also work with the emotional side of it, the emotional root, and sometimes we don't ever discover what that is, and you don't have to.
Hmm. Yeah,
So you can really find indications in your current reality what that emotional root is.
yeah.
So and that's what the way I help people. So I have an interesting story of a client who has um, ulcerative colitis.
So sorry, what?
Ulcerative colitis.
I
It's
don't know that
a
word. What is it?
Yeah, so it's a uh, immune disease where the immune system is really compromised,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the bowels. So ulcers actually form in the bowels,
Yeah.
and it causes a lot of pain, um, and just really unpleasant, dire situations.
Yeah.
Um, so with going to the bathroom and bleeding, and so it's really a harsh um, disease
Yeah.
or
So
condition.
that's like the to do with the gut, right?
Yes,
Ah, okay. So I know
yes.
it. I just didn't know the English name. Yeah, now I know it.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. So also I use a lot of intuitive abilities as well. So when I was working with him, I've had a couple of different or clients that have had this situation or condition, and both of them, it's almost like on the emotional level or on the it's not even an emotion, I guess a belief level that you're not able to hold on to things that nourish you.
Yeah.
So, when you do things to nourish you, you lose that, like you lose your center, you lose yourself.
Yeah.
So you're not able to hold on to these things, right? So you're not giving to yourself.
Yeah.
So this person, this client was a big motorcycle guy. You know, the doctor had told him that if he doesn't, you know, you know, if this medication that he's taking doesn't work, he's going to have his part of his bowels removed.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He went into this space of, oh my gosh. So I was treating him with some, energy work at that time.
Yeah.
And he got the inspiration to just drop everything and go ride his motorcycle.
Mm.
And within a couple of days, it cleared up and improved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, with that motorcycle, he did something for himself that nourished him.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I mean, it's just proof everywhere,
Yeah.
how this works. And I think it's fascinating.
If you think that is like so-called uncurable disease, and very often many of those have like the origin in the very deep in our belief system, in our way of treating ourselves, in the lack of self-love and self-respect. It's true. Yeah, that's really cool. It's funny, many times the uh how do you say it, like the process of getting better, it can be like super quick. It can be like in one session that something major can happen. Like one of the most interesting things that has happened to me was I think it's maybe 1.5 years ago. I was treating a girl around my age who had the problem of the frozen shoulders, that she
Mm,
actually couldn't move more than this, neither of the hands or the arms. And
wow.
she came to my session. She used to be my massage customer, and I told her that, do you want to try something for these shoulders, because you have had them already quite a long time? And she was a little bit skeptic, and she came, and we did a treatment that I do, the body mind energy balancing method, which I use. And in that treatment, I got like a very strong sense that it was something about the heart chakra, the back of the heart.
Yes. I,
And
I got that immediately when you were
yeah,
talking about it.
yeah, because that's the where the energy flows out, right? And then I got a strong image that it's about her father.
Mm,
But she had told me a lot about her family before, but never even one word about her father. And I asked her like that, I have I am sensing that this has to do with your father. Like, was there something in your childhood? And I got the age right, like teenage, maybe 13, 14 or something. Was there something that was happening that was like really traumatizing? And there was, I don't want to share the whole story because it's her personal story, but there was something that happened. And once she got that out, in the end of the session, the arms were moving, no pain, nothing, perfect
wow.
movements, and they continued doing so. Like they didn't freeze again, and that was the trauma energy that was like held in the body, like
Mhm.
physically, and like preventing her to move forwards.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
I
they
mean,
can.
it really is amazing. And I really hope that people and I think they are starting to really open up to these ideas that it's not just Western medicine anymore. I think Western medicine has its place for sure,
Yeah,
especially with emergency medicine and surgeries, things like that. Not, I mean, that could go a couple of different ways as well, but I think people are becoming more open to adding some of these other modalities into their lives to help heal. Like they're starting to understand there's more.
Yeah. And I'm still telling everyone, if they have like like very severe physical or mental condition, it's always a good idea to see a doctor. Like I'm making it clear for everyone, but like the holistic way of seeing an individual, is the doctor is like one part of it, and you can add the holistic services, whatever they might be in your life. You can add them on top of that so-called Western medical way of seeing your health, so you will get even better results. I just want to make it clear so that we don't get any feedback about that we tell people not to meet a doctor. Because
Right, right. I mean, you're right, because as a practitioner, there are laws around that, especially in the US.
yeah,
But I also believe because our society, you grow up, it's a collective belief
yes,
that a doctor will, when you're sick, you go to a doctor. When there's something wrong with your body, you go to a doctor.
yes,
So it's just part of our belief system.
exactly,
And so I think it's really I mean, I think you can change that belief system,
yes.
right? But um, you know, do you have the energy and the focus to do it, right?
Mm,
Is that a priority in your life to do that?
yeah,
So having the doctor there as part of part of your healing process is definitely recommended,
yeah,
for
definitely.
extreme situations. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, so the physical pain, we covered that. And how about, Christina, how do you see human body in general? Like, what is this body of ours?
I see it as a vehicle, right? Because we're all part. So I have researched and have listened to hundreds and hundreds of near-death experience stories. I just love this. I mean,
I love them
um,
too.
oh my gosh, I'm like addicted.
Yeah,
So, and even though so many of them say the same message over and over and over again, I can't get enough of it.
yeah,
And it really is, we are consciousness.
yeah,
We are consciousness. So when we are consciousness, we are everything, right? We're energy, we're everything. We don't have this 3D reality that we have in this planet Earth, right?
mm,
In this realm. So, this is our opportunity to feel gravity, to feel, to have senses, the smells, the taste, the touch, because in these other realms, we don't have that. And I know that sounds scary, right? But coming from these near-death experiencers, we don't miss it. That this is a hard life. This is a hard existence being here. This is
yeah,
difficult and challenging. But that's what it's for. It's
yeah,
for our spiritual growth and not on a religious level, but on our soul level, on our
yeah,
consciousness level to expand.
yes,
And I've heard someone say that in this reality, relationships are so important to us, especially romantic relationships, because they are really what helps us grow and expand in this 3D reality.
yeah. And because we have the manifestation of the female and the masculine, we have the divine feminine and masculine in separate bodies. We do have people who also consider that they have both sides, like even physically, but or who say that they are not a woman or a man in
Right.
the sense that we tend to think about it. But in generally, like 90% of the population is in the either like a feminine or the masculine embodiment, and then
Right.
we still have the both energies inside,
That's
but
right.
sometimes we need the attraction of the other energy to bring the feminine inside us to flourish, or the masculine inside us to flourish. So it is like,
Absolutely.
it is on a soul level, but it is also on the physical, the body level. That's why we are like magnetized together
Right.
in this realm. Yeah.
Yes,
I guess
absolutely.
you as a tantric teacher, you can even talk more about it, right?
Yes, yes. So the energy that I work with is the Shakti energy. So the Shakti energy is that feminine energy that actually sits in the root.
Mm,
So that this energy is probably, and we all have it, men and women have this energy, right? The
yes.
divine feminine. And so this energy is the energy of creation,
Mm,
right? It is our sexual energy. And when that is out of balance, we're either too far feminine or too far masculine,
yes.
we tend to have characteristics about ourselves that we tend to manifest these characteristics that are not our ideal.
Yes.
So, and we can depolarize
Mm,
the masculine as a feminine. We can depolarize the masculine if we are too far in our masculine. This is an issue um, for a lot of women today.
yeah.
Is that because we're working, because we're the breadwinners, because we're, in these boardrooms with this very masculine energy, we have to be assertive. We have to come from our third chakra, where this the third energy center, where this confidence is, and so we become out of balance and we start to control,
Yeah.
right? And we do things with control rather than from our true center,
Yes.
which is a balance of this feminine and masculine. However, because we're a woman, we lean feminine. That is our baseline.
Yeah.
Where a man, and I'm talking about heterosexual, well, I mean, this could happen in a um, homosexual relationship as well.
Yeah.
Um, that if you're too far, if a man is too far feminine, then they become emotional, and that also depolarizes us as females. So
Yeah.
they're going to be more laying more in their masculine energy.
Mm,
Typically, this is typical, they're comfortably seated in their masculine energy, just like they have more testosterone. They have 100 times more testosterone than females do. We have it within us. We need
yeah.
it. We
Yeah.
survive with it, but they just have 100 times more than we do. It's
Mm,
same with this masculine and feminine energy. We have 100 times more estrogen than men do. They
yeah.
have estrogen as well,
Yeah.
but we sit in the feminine energy more.
Yeah.
So when I talk about with this goddess, when we know who we truly are and we can come from this authentic self,
Mm,
then we sit in this balanced state and we can move in and out very there, as a goddess, very nimble in
mm,
and out of masculine and feminine when we choose.
yes.
And it takes practice. It does. It does. So, yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah. But I think one of the biggest lessons for us to learn here is to actually balance, like get the balance between our own feminine and masculine energy, so that we become whole as people. So So I think
Right.
that's a really, really great program that you have. I think it's gonna help a lot of women to find their inner power and their
Yeah.
inner authenticity and like
Yes.
truth. Yeah, that's really
Thank
cool.
you.
So tell me a little bit about this program. Like how is it? How do people sign up and what do they expect? How long does it take and so on?
Yeah, so right now, one-on-one coaching is a 3-month program, 12 weeks. And they can sign up by going to my website, and I have a virtual coffee with them, and we can assess what's going on, if they're, if we're a match, because we're partners in this.
Yes.
So we need to work together. And, I'm not there to do anything for someone. They've got to be a partner in this as well. So I'm just there to guide and to help this person work through the process, because this old subconscious, this old story is going to come up. And
Yeah.
that's where most people give up, right?
Yeah.
As we said before. So having this help and knowing that you want to make a change is really key. And for women who are kind of, looking at their lives and thinking, there's something just not right. I'm just not feeling, I feel like there's something more. My relationships, I know today, and I'm in the dating world, right? And in the dating world, this friends with benefits seems to be really, really prevalent,
Mm,
and we look at it and it's like, okay, it's not what I want, but it's what I'll put up with because I don't want to be alone. So you
right.
become this, you morph into this state, this version of yourself that's unfulfilling, that's
Mm,
not what you really want. So if you're in those situations, decide if that's something you want to continue. And maybe this program will help you move through that and
mm,
get back into your goddess state and know what you want, and never settle. That's a
yeah.
goddess never settles.
Yeah. That
So
is true.
it sticks true to her power, and she knows how to fill her cup. So that's another thing, is going through this program is to help women fill their own cup. So you're not looking for this outside validation,
Mm,
either
yeah.
in a career or in a relationship, or, even feeling like having money in the bank and having the cars and all that. I'm not saying you can't have that. I'm not saying that at all. I dream big myself.
Mm,
I want all of those things too, but it's
yeah.
a matter of manifesting those, bringing those into your life from a place of choosing,
Yes.
rather than I need this to show somebody or show that I'm a certain way.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of helping women bring them back to that place, because
Yeah.
it's within us, it's within us all. We
Mm,
have it, every single one of us.
yeah, that's cool. And how is the delivery part? Like, do you have like life coaching sessions and energy
Yes.
healing sessions, or how is it?
Yeah. Yes. So we'll do a combination of weekly calls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do usually 3 weekly sessions to start out with, and then
Mm-hmm.
we might do 2, just to kind of feel it out to see where they are. So it's not a scripted, exact program. I really kind of work with people to customize what they need
Yeah.
over this 12-week period, and to make sure that they, really focus on the goals that they want to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a very similar program than you, but it is a journey of your life program actually, and it's also about becoming who you truly are and making decisions based on your true values and what you want, what is your purpose in life, and then committing to those and making it to happen. And it's also a 3-month program, and I usually have like a one group call session a week with all the group, and then like one individual session a week. and every other week is usually energy healing, and every other week is the spiritual life coaching, and then like some homeworks. But I think this 3 month is actually, it's a good time because you have time to implement the new
Yes.
thoughts and habits, so that after the 3 months, even though you still have some way to go until your goal, but you already like have a solid foundation, so you know how to build it like after that.
Yes. Yes,
And
and
I
that's something I also really, really focus on is giving them the tools so that
exactly,
they can do this work on their own. They
yeah,
have me for 3 months to show them and to guide them, but they have the tools in their toolbox to
yes,
continue the work themselves. So they don't have to rely on me. And
exactly,
that's really the key is to empower people so that they can take this and continue to flourish.
yeah.
And so I'm actually coming up with a couple of different things. I also do cacao ceremonies.
Oh, nice.
So now that we're able to travel and things have opened up, I have been, asked. I kind of go to different coaches and collaborate with them on these cacao ceremonies. I think they're beautiful, and locally I'll do them, and hopefully something will grow out of that. But it's cacao is such a beautiful natural substance that has all of these micronutrients that open the heart.
Yeah, and you can really feel it that it opens
Yes,
the heart. Like the
yes,
times I have had cacao, it's a physical sensation. You're like
absolutely.
radiating. It's
Yes,
wonderful. Yeah,
yes. You really feel connected.
yeah,
This heart chakra opening, this
yeah,
heart center opening where you feel connected. The love from this heart centeredness is a connectedness, it's a joy, it's an openness,
yeah,
it's a giving love.
yeah.
And it just puts you there in a very gentle way. You're not impaired any, it's not a psychedelic.
Hmm.
Um, your focus is actually even more in tune.
Yeah.
Um, so we
And
gather around and, set intentions and share and journal and just be in this space of
yeah,
love and joy and openness to receive, to be able to receive,
yeah,
and to give, to be able to receive.
yeah,
So it's a beautiful thing. And I also am doing some workshops. I've got one actually coming up soon, and I'm not sure when this will come out, but and that is an Activate Your Inner Goddess workshop. So it's a 2-hour workshop setting the foundation for being able to create this life that you want from this goddess perspective, from this goddess version of yourself.
yeah,
And hoping to do some group coaching in the fall. So maybe that would be of interest as well.
yeah.
And
Wow, you have a lot of
my
going on.
website,
Yeah,
yeah, my website is newlightjourneys.com.
cool. I will add it to the comments so people who want to find it will find it there. That's great. Yeah, Christina, sounds really wonderful. Was there something else I wanted to ask about? I think we have kind of almost covered everything. Do you have any last words that you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate that, the word healing is really something that you're doing for yourself. It's all within you. All healing is self-healing, that
Yeah,
you're not broken, that there's nothing to fix, that anything is possible, even if it seems dire and what the circumstances that you're seeing outside, all of this can be changed if
Mm.
you really choose and really want to change. I'm just a facilitator, right? Helping you go, a guide to help you go through the process. Because we all need help. We do.
We do. That's why we are here. Otherwise, we would have already graduated from this planet Earth, right?
That's right.
So we
That's
are
right.
all here to do the work. And
Right.
I think the first step is to realize that you have the power to change. Because once you step out of the victim mode and wait for someone else to fix your problems, once you really go into that step, that you take the full responsibility about your thoughts and emotions and your own healing, then after that, all the help you need will come to you. Like,
Absolutely.
but that's actually, you talked about the receiving. It's very difficult for many people, at least here in the Nordic countries, to actually ask for help and to receive. Like, many of us are givers, but you cannot only give. Sometimes you also have to receive, so that the energy is in the balance, right?
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
why, like, if you feel that you need some help and guidance, now you have two very good facilitators here who can help you on your spiritual and emotional and physical journey in this life. And yeah, I think this has been an amazing interview. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, anytime, because I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, really, really wonderful to hear your thoughts, and like how, even though like this is the second time we ever talk to each others, like how similarly we think, like how
Yes.
like view of um, the individual's health and well-being is exactly like,
Yes, and it's fascinating, right? Because we're on the opposite sides of the world,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it just shows you how, and everything is energy, right?
Exactly. And also the truth has a certain resonance. Like,
That's right.
that's how I have come to conclusion how the things are, because once you hear or read something that is true, you know it. It's like, you know that you can read a lot of information and a lot of it is bullshit, but you know what is actually true, right?
Right.
Do you have the
Right.
same experience?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Uh,
of bullshit out there.
yeah. And once you tap into the like very like original truths about the existence, then there is like no questioning, and then you see them working every time.
Absolutely.
Like, they
Absolutely. And
also
it comes
prove.
down to, right, what you believe, right?
Yeah,
So you believe that it's true. So your brain is going to find evidence of that
right.
truth and show it to you.
Yeah, exactly, it is. And of course, all of us, we have our own truths. Like, I'm not saying that someone else is wrong, it's just like what personally resonates with me and what
Right.
brings in my life a lot of joy, and how I can see that I can do good for other people. So if you
Right.
if you disagree, I'm not saying you are wrong. I think you just have your own truth, and I respect that. So
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Agree 100%.
yeah, exactly. Cool, but thank you very much,
Thank you.
Christina. I'm gonna stop the recording. We can chat a little bit after this if you want.
Sure.
And yes, so thank you, dear
Thank you. Thank you,
audience.
everyone.
Yes, and have a wonderful day and much love.